W's and L's, the weekly recap show where we give a dub to the things that we like and an L to the things that we don't. It's on you.
Only got one dub this week. Zohran Mamdani, who is not going to, this is not going to be his last appearance on this list today.
Say it with the Cuomo quote, or say it with the Cuomo voice.
My opponent, Zohran Mamdani. He gets a dub this week for going into the White House, being asked if the president was a fascist, and eventually responding with a yes. That's all you need to say in the first place.
Yeah.
Right? I'm glad that Trump stopped him from over-explaining, because you was getting ready to fuck yourself up. You getting ready to fuck yourself up. You getting ready to get into this word salad about, oh, well, what I really meant was, no, fuck that. Stand on business. Which is going to lead me to the L he's going to receive here later on. But stand on business, brother.
Yes.
Okay? Don't let the fascists talk you into calling a fascist a fascist.
Facts. Keep that same energy.
I feel like everybody kind of exalted that point. I'm more so giving him the dub for how it looked. Mm-hmm. Right? The same way Elon was putting his nuts on Trump's shoulder while he was talking and telling him how it's going to be in the Oval Office.
Yeah.
That's how Zohran Mamdani was standing there.
Yeah.
Trump giggling, looking up at him and shit and all this other stuff. Like, yeah, exert some power.
Yeah.
Exert some power. But don't allow him to tell you to call him. No. I don't need a fascist to tell me to call you a fascist. I believe in what I was saying. So let me clarify on why I feel that way if you're going to clarify on anything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no. I mean, I think the White House appearance in general for him was a success. So he gets a dub for that. Else. First one, St. Francis Health in Crown Point, Indiana. Getting the biggest L that I can give to a medical facility. Kicked the black woman out of their facility, a nurse and a doctor. Kicked the black woman out of her facility complaining about pain. That black woman then, some 20 minutes later, gave birth to her child in her car.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes.
In her car?
She went to an emergency room for help. They kicked her ass out. She had her baby in her car.
That's fucking insane. Literally no humanity in that whatsoever.
Let's go ahead and get to the story.
Like, that literally sounds like some evil ass shit.
Told her she was only 3 centimeters dilated and sent her away. So first of all, she's 3 centimeters dilated. She's dilated, which means she's going into labor. Let her sit in a hospital bed until she's fully dilated so she can push. You sent her home? Once again, no humanity. They don't give a fuck. They don't care. And again, this is a pregnancy. This is something they see every fucking day. They don't know. It's not that they don't know that a woman's in pain when she's going into labor. It's not that they don't know that a woman could be severely in pain if she's only 3 centimeters dilated. It's not that they don't know that. It's that this woman was black and they thought that they could kick her black ass out of there without facing any consequences.
You're literally denying a person health care.
And I gave them even more credit than they deserve. It was 8 minutes later.
Oh, my God.
So, first of all, I don't even believe you on the 3 centimeters dilated. I don't believe you. I don't fucking believe you. And I don't believe that whoever checked did their job or was telling the truth, because you don't get from 3 centimeters to 10 in fucking 3 minutes. You don't get to pushing to the pushing window from 3 fucking This 3 centimeters right here, 2 fucking fingers. You don't get to the difference between this and able to push out a fucking baby in 3 goddamn minutes. And I know I ain't no woman, but I done had 2 kids, so I got some experience. Dog, 8 minutes later, in the car, on the freeway.
On the fucking freeway? Now, when you said in the car, I thought like in the parking lot.
Nope.
Oh my God,
nope.
Bro.
Nope.
That's bullshit.
And so now the doctor and the nurse have been let go. Here's the statement from the hospital. Nurse and doctor fired after kicking out a pregnant woman. Mercedes Wells is the name of the lady who delivered. In labor, she gave birth roadside hospital. This is the statement from the hospital. We apologize for the failing of Francian. We apologize for the failing of our Francian values and are holding ourselves accountable.
The hell is Francian?
Because it's St. Francis.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess
That and it's kind of pretentious thing to put in an apology.
Very pretentious.
But anyways, yeah, they are holding themselves accountable. You're not fully accountable until you get this woman $10 million. Until you give it to her, or she claws it out of the dead carcass of your closed hospital. You shouldn't be administering health to people any longer.
Facts.
So close up shop, get that woman her settlement, and sayonara sucker. Or sell the facility to a new hospital chain. Whoever is currently in charge of that place, because you don't just get that type of instance as a one-off. You also don't get it as an adverse reflection of your leadership. That is completely in line with your leadership. You don't do something like that unless you think the people who tell you what to do are going to back you up. You don't kick a human being out of the emergency room when they're claiming they're in labor, or claiming of having chest pains, or claiming of having problems with their head. You don't do that unless you think you're going to get backed up by the people who are set to review you. No chance this is not a cultural thing at that hospital.
No, in a way.
So yeah, run that lady. And this is at a time where we don't need no more hospital closures. Y'all's ass need to be fucking closed or sold. I want her to get enough money from you that whoever is in charge, whoever's taking home the biggest check from St. Francis Health in Crown Point, Indiana, whoever it is, ends up doing something else. Like, you don't even have enough empathy in your heart for a pregnant woman.
That's bullshit.
Like, damn the whole black shit at that point. Like, she's pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, that's the same thing that justifies them to go drop bombs, in a Middle Eastern country.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? So
that is a fact.
there's no humanity left, I guess. All right. Let's get to why Zohran Mamdani is getting an L for me. Historic victory versus a democratic political dynasty, as he called it, the night of his victory.
Mm-hmm.
Caught the endorsements of some pretty prominent progressive Democrats. AOC, Bernie Sanders. AOC, one who, got her seat in Congress, much like how Zohran Mamdani did, up against an unlikely foe, an entrenched establishment figure, right? Mm-hmm. Chris Cuomo for Zohran. It was Crowley in New York for AOC. Both of them unseated, long-time entrenched Democratic establishment figures. So just keep that in mind for what I'm about to say. Okay? Zohran's been doing a lot of media lately, talking to a lot of folks about a lot of different things. One of the things that came up as the government shutdown ended and the Affordable Care Act subsidies were not extended and people's health care are getting ready to go through the roof. And we had a chance to stop a lot of the Republican aggression and policy making that they were doing last year, but we decided not to shut down the government then at all. Shut it down this time for no fucking reason. We took the same deal that was on the table when we started to shut down. Or not we, because I don't count myself as one of them. But anyways, that's what they did. Right? So it sounds like a shakeup in leadership is warranted, right? Well, not according to Bernie Sanders and AOC, and now seemingly by extension, Zohran Mamdani. Now, imagine you being a Democratic Socialist New York mayor, right? Imagine that. You won the election to be the mayor of New York as a Democratic Socialist. You said it with your whole chest. You did it fighting the Democratic establishment and not kowtowing to their message, right? Mm-hmm. Not being bent over for Israel, not being bent over by the landlord class in New York, talking about rent freezes, not giving in to the billionaire class when we talk about things like free busing, right? Universal free school lunch for the kids, that type of shit. Talked about it unabashedly. And you took down the type of establishment figure that would be in the way of you doing that to get there. So now when they ask you, I see Hakeem Jeffries. is it the Senate Minority Leader, Hakeem Jeffries, or no, he's the House Minority Leader. Is Hakeem Jeffries. Don't we think that maybe some change of leadership would have happened there? Again, Hakeem Jeffries voted to end the shutdown. Hakeem Jeffries votes to send money to Israel unlimitedly. Mm-hmm. Hakeem Jeffries got AIPAC money coming out of his ears.
Of course.
Hakeem Jeffries ain't never fought for a fucking thing. So why does Hakeem Jeffries need to stay? I don't know. Ask Zohran Mamdani. Because when asked about his primary challenger, Shay Osei, and whether or not he would support him, I just don't think right now is the right time to do something like that and challenging leadership. I don't think we should be trying to challenge our leaders in this way.
That's crazy.
Oh, okay. So change for thee, not change for we.
Right.
So when people were asking Hakeem Jeffries, would he support you? Would he endorse you as the Democratic candidate in the New York mayoral race? Then it was completely fine for him to brush that shit off and be like, nah, I don't play in New York politics. Even though you were the Democratic candidate, even though you were the Democratic nominee, and he's the Democratic House Minority Leader. No, we don't do New York politics. I couldn't possibly endorse Zohran. Okay, so now then you protecting his job should have earned you some good grace, right? Should have earned you some good grace from the House Minority Leader. Mm-hmm. Maybe this is a tongue-in-cheek type of deal. I'll protect you. You help me get my legislation through. Right? So you surely wouldn't have been expecting to see Hakeem Jeffries be one of the 100 U.S. senators to condemn socialism this week, right? Not days after I just got on my knees and gave you a gawk. Damn. Gave you a sign of confidence. And I'll even disagree with friend of the podcast, Van Lathan, who I saw on Breaking Points this week and had a good appearance. But I disagree with him in that we need to adjust our expectations for Zohran Mamdani. Don't treat him like he's a true revolutionary. Treat him like the establishment figure he'll eventually be. Because to do that is for me to allow him to work himself back from the things that got him elected. See, I'm not blinded by Regency. I remember John Fetterman. Being the new progressive warrior. No, he's an AIPAC money hoarding ogre. An establishment tool. And the only thing he needed to do was talk about Medicare for all for 2 years. Get his ass elected and then start collecting checks.
And forget all about that shit.
The only thing he needed to do was talk tough for a few years and then start collecting the checks. So no, I'm not with that. No, treat him like no. I'm going to treat him like the individual he was to get elected. And if he thinks it's more politically viable to buddy up with the people who are voting to censure him, not censure him, excuse me, who are voting to condemn him and his political ideology. If you are looking to cozy up to those people more than the individuals who got you elected, then you're doomed from the start. Then you're already fucked. If you have not learned anything from Bernie Sanders and trying to play their bullshit political games and eking out any bit of concession that you possibly can along the way, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. If you didn't realize that you needed to ruffle some feathers and upset some folks to get this shit done in the first place, that maybe it was going to take you ousting a Hakeem Jeffries, a Shay Osei, unseating Hakeem Jeffries for you to actually have a clear pathway to do what you want to do in New York, then you don't get it, bruh. You can't play both sides of the fence. AOC, I've completely given up on her. She is the new Nancy Pelosi of the party. She will be the seeming fighter and organizer that will tell everybody to calm the fuck down when exactly we need to be turning up.
She gonna wear kente cloth?
She is she was already doing it. She is the impediment to actual progress. She will tell you to take baby steps when a giant leap is necessary. I don't trust her anymore. And if Zohran wants to keep going down this line of, oh, well, I know I said globalized Antifada was, just a call for people's liberation, but now I discourage it. Okay. Yeah, I came up as a rebel-like figure bucking the establishment, and I went after the established figure and got him out of here to get my position, but I don't think anybody else should be doing that right now because it's just the wrong time. Okay. So now, if you do hear him all of a sudden waffling on free buses or rent freezes to get people housing in New York, it started back at globalized Antifada. It started there. You want to keep this coalition that you built together, then you honor them. Not the fucks in the White House. Not the fucks in the Chamber of Congress. Because they will go whichever way the wind blows. You just need to make sure you're the wind.
Here's the thing. Me as Josh, I totally align with everything you just said. Totally agree. However, me as Joshua, I'm a little bit more moderate leaning in my political ideology, and I like my multiple streams of income. So, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, you didn't touch on something that I definitely thought you were going to touch on. And that would be Stefon Diggs suing
Damn!
Homeboy.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I didn't really know who to give the L or dub to in that one. He is suing for defamation, though.
Well, first of all, it could be a toss-up.
Okay.
But, yeah, no, he's suing for defamation, and Homeboy is counter-suing, from what I've seen.
He's suing again?
Chris Blake Griffith is counter-suing. I'll tell you, to be honest with you, the most interesting thing about this whole thing is that it's going to court. So we're going to get some truth about this situation one way or another. I'm excited about that, actually.
That's cool.
Because either we're going to find out that Stefon Diggs is on some demon time or not.
I think we already figured that out. Like, Gervonta Davis randomly chimed in to confirm that them niggas be on some weird shit anyways. All right, like, I don't... How many niggas got to pop out and say that you plug fudge holes before we actually believe it? Like, it ain't. They not just running around lying on you saying that specific thing. Like, all right, fam. Like, if that's what you want, that's what you want.
Facts.
But yeah, no. I think it's interesting because I think the suing for defamation was more of a save face thing. If I'm being honest, I think he got a lot of shit going on. And rumors about him sexually assaulting another man is not necessarily where him or his partner want him to be at right now.
Right.
I can even imagine there being a conversation like, all right, well, if that shit didn't happen, then you got to handle that shit because I can't have you on my back doing that. But at the same time, why wouldn't you have gauged that during the whole, anyways. Anyway,
well, that's true, but
this is a Stefon Diggs take. This is not a Cardi B take.
Right.
But.
Well, even then, I guess it's weird that you would decide to sue now because it's going to do nothing but bring more attention to it. So I guess that's also a weird angle that.
I mean, Tasha Caden picked it up. Maybe he just wanted to get out from underneath it. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what the logic here is. His brother did go to jail and got probation. Or he went to jail, ended up getting 2 years probation for beating the nigga up and pulling him out of the elevator. So are you prepared to explain to us what that was for? Because, I mean, to this point, he hasn't really clarified to why he sent 3 niggas to go pull this nigga off the elevator, and then they took his bag. Yeah. Making sure that he had to come back to the apartment. Like, if it was just we didn't like something that he did, so, we handled it. Okay, so then why did you take his shit? Why the fuck did you take his bag?
Because he took a bunch of baby oil from Stefon Diggs
also,
as evidence.
Why does it seem like y'all are, like, trying to convince him to come back most of the fucking video? Like, y'all keep pointing back to the fucking apartment door.
Yeah. Yeah.
Goofy ass niggas,
You know what that reminds me of? The Boondocks episode with the Thug in Love where Riley goes to the hospital
Do the whole man.
The
Do
one
the
before
whole
that was
man.
the part 2 of it.
Oh.
But when they were like shooting at Gangstalicious,
Okay, yeah.
and they were in the hospital, I don't know. It just reminds me of that for some reason. Anyway,
Homies over hoes. Homies over hoes. Homies over hoes. Homies over hoes. Do the whole man. Do the whole man.
all right. I'm starting off my dubs with a dub to the quarter zips. I mean, come on, bro. Let's talk about it, bro. First of all, I want to address already the naysayers of the quarter zip culture. First of all, man's already admitted that he has quarter zips in his closet, and there's a reason for that.
Quite a
You wear
few.
them to work, correct? Okay. So you don't leave the house feeling like you're dressing like a white person when you wear said quarter zip.
This is a stupid thing. It's a stupid person thing.
Extremely
It's like when
stupid
people
thing.
hear you using like proper English and they say you talking white. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's sad on a certain level because you realize as a person who doesn't think that way that this person is associating anything positive with whiteness.
Yeah.
And so while they're trying to like poo you for being all you love white people, no. It's not me that loves white people. You love white people because anything in your mind that is remotely positive, speaking properly, dressing with a certain level of decorum, having a 2-parent household, all of that shit is white. It belongs to white people.
Yeah, no, fuck
That's the things that white people deserve in your mind.
Yep.
You're not showing how I like white people. You showing how you hold them white people on the highest pedestal possible.
Facts.
Anything that's good in this world is white.
Facts. And so as I sit here and wear my quarter zip, you know what I'm saying, in support of, I don't know what the fuck a YN is. I'm doing this in support of my young brothers who decided to get away from the Nike techs and the shiesties, right? Because that was starting to become a thing for quite a while. They said, nah, we about to stop that shit. We about to start wearing quarter zips and drink matcha lattes. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing that, look, if matcha lattes are a white thing, I think I'm about to start getting into it. Because this matcha latte is good. Now, I can't keep drinking it because it's 6 o'clock and it's got caffeine in it. And I am getting up there in age. I'm not 40. I don't know what the fuck Marcus be talking about, but I am getting up there in age. And caffeine at later than 5 o'clock is crazy. It's too much.
Especially
anyway,
for a 40-year-old.
No. Anyway. No, I wear these to work as well. And so an attempt to get in on the fun trend that's happening in support of the guys who are wearing quarter zips. You know what I mean? Why not? Why not just have fun being in business casual as opposed to streetwear? Look, y'all know I got hoodies. Y'all know I always wear a fucking Nike hat. Y'all know I do that shit. But look, sometimes we can have fun and enjoy, you know, the fun trends that the YBs are putting on out there. Let's have a good time. Let's have fun. We do different things because black people are not a monolith. Now, I'm going to stop wearing these because they're foggy and I think I need to clean them. Anyway, let's move on. I'm giving a dub to Megan Thee Stallion. I was actually going to laugh about this situation. I was probably going to make some jokes about this situation. But the more I thought about it throughout the week, the more I started to take this a little bit more seriously. And I think she's right. Megan Thee Stallion was working on a deal with Activision. They make Call of Duty. She was working on a Call of Duty collaboration, I believe to be something similar in effect to the 21 Savage collaboration where they had 21 Savage running around the fucking thing. There was a 21 Savage skin. So you could play as 21 Savage in
There are
Call of Duty.
skins in Call of Duty now?
Yes. And so similar to that, I think they were probably going to do the same thing with Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion decided to put a kibosh to all of that bullshit because you could effectively shoot at her in the game. Not making a joke. That's literally why she put it into it. And so, I did want to look at that as somewhat of a joke until I thought about it and I said, you know what, though? There are bound to be people who are going to make memes about shooting Megan Thee Stallion in the game. And so I think she's right. I think she's perfectly fine declining that collaboration because you just know that people are going to be on bullshit with that. And so I wanted to make a joke about it, but I don't think so. I think she made a good choice for her brand and more power to her. I'm giving her a dub in this situation. Oh, I'm also giving a dub to Glorilla. You know, Glow earlier this year put out a diss song against Young Thug and Mariah the Scientist.
Burning Blue.
And in her part where she disses Mariah the Scientist, she starts singing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a joke. It was funny. But that shit sounded atrocious.
Oh, don't hate on her.
So you can imagine my dismay when I heard that Glorilla wants to make an R&B album. Yeah. I said, excuse me, wait, hold on. What? Huh? Glorilla? Glorilla, the one that can't sing worth a lick. Glorilla that makes all of the trap hits that I want to hear. Oh, no, I'm good. I don't want to hear no R&B album from Glow. I'm good. But just like the Megan Thee Stallion situation, I thought about that situation throughout the week and made a complete 180. And I decided to say, you know what? Actually, I think Glorilla is actually making a really good decision. Because first of all, she will not be the one singing.
She make music.
Yo. She's not going to be
She can
the
rap,
one
she can sing, she make
She
music.
can't sing.
You don't know what she can do. She been making music since music was music.
No. But I do see it as an opportunity because there were starting to be chatter around Glorilla that she only makes one style of music, that she only does one thing in her music. And so if she wants to get out there and kind of diversify the sound a little bit, by all means, do it, because I think it'll help your sound as a whole. It'll diversify your sound, obviously, and hopefully you'll get some longevity out of that. Maybe you find a new lane out of that and you won't keep making the same thing. Because I'll be damned if they try to Lil Baby Glorilla or Da Baby. All of them. They said, oh, they got the same flow. They make the same music every single time. And then what happened? They not here no more. Lil Baby kind of is. But the baby gone. The baby gone. And I don't want them to do the same thing to Glorilla. I think if she wants to make an R&B album, she can. Just don't sing. Just don't sing. For the love of God, don't sing.
I need you to stop hating on Big Low.
I need you to if you're going to make
an
R&B
B.I. pull up on the pod and tell you what's up. Shout out to my nigga Brandon Ingram, man.
If you're going to make an R&B album, just make sure every single song has a feature. That's all.
Yeah, tell him, Pam, not too much on Big Low.
What you mean? I'm happy with Big Low. I just don't sing the songs yourself.
She can sing her music if she want to.
Or you better T-Pain the fuck out of those vocals. I'm giving a dub to De La Soul. I'm not the biggest De La Soul fan. I did hear 3 Feet High Rising because I heard it was a classic album. I listened to it when I was in college. Liked it. Jennifer, oh Jenny. Love that song. But I would not call myself the biggest De La Soul fan. I know some of their more recent songs, but I'm not a fan. I wouldn't say that I was a fan. Right? I like them, but I'm not a fan. But when I heard them go on to Fat Joe and Jadakiss's podcast and preview the song that they were working on with Nas, Bring It Back, I believe it's called, I knew I had to listen to this album. And from there, I was not disappointed. Do you remember Tribe coming out with a new album recently? It was like, at this point, it was
2019 or 2020, something like that.
It was some time ago. Yep. And it was obviously after Fife had passed, and so like the whole thing was kind of centered around that. Mm-hmm. This is a very similar album. The concept is pretty much the exact same because for them, True Goy had passed. And so
True Goy.
R.I.P. Plug 2. For them, that had happened, and so this is kind of a in remembrance. They've got some True Goy verses on here. But it's really kind of just a celebration of life for him, as well as just kind of remembering that person. But it's them doing what they do best and making the music in the style that they like. If you really want some like old school feeling to your hip hop, I would say go to this album because it's a solid album, man. It's really good. There's a lot of good rapping in here. It's a diverse sound of hip hop throughout the whole thing. A lot of good feature verses. I like it. So if you want something different in your hip hop music, I say throw this in your rotation for a little bit because De La Soul knows what they're doing. As a kid, playing football, do you remember doing Oklahoma drills?
Yes. Probably a little too much.
It sounds like you're reminiscing from a very positive place.
Positive and negative.
I was going to say, because I understand the positive side of it.
I was going to say, I caught a pretty bad stinger my senior year.
Okay.
I still can't feel part of my shoulder doing Oklahoma. So
all right.
I do recognize the dangers.
Even if you do look back at it with fondness, because, you know, we grew up in an era where hitting was fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was negative times you had when doing the Oklahoma drill. Okay, cool. So for the life of me, I can't understand why, similar to that slap league that they had, that power slap league, they have a I
don't even know why people was fucking doing that. Like, what's the skill to taking a slap to the face?
I don't know.
Like, yeah, just give me the brain damage. Come on. Just put it on here.
Well, they now have a professional Oklahoma drill league. And, you know, at some level, I'd be like, okay, I guess.
Fuck no. Fuck no. Even at 32. Ain't no way I'm getting my ass out there to take a real football hit, fully padded, from some niggas who think that they should have been in the NFL. No.
Yes. Yep.
No.
You're seeing the vision perfectly.
Absolutely not.
Because first of all, these are grown ass men.
Yeah.
Who clearly didn't make the NFL.
Yeah. Yep. Or probably in most cases college football.
Yeah. They're not wearing pads.
Okay, all right.
They're not.
Let's just fuck the whole thing up. Y'all doing padless Oklahoma drills with y'all grown asses. Hey, look. I wish you would call. I wish I was your boss and you called me on Monday morning talking about you can't make it in because you got injured in your Oklahoma league. I said, you're what? You have a what league? And you're fired. You're fucking fired.
Yes, facts.
Like, it's not. That's worse than semi-pro. At least semi-pro they putting pads on,
right? And helmets.
Have the ambulams on standby. Y'all doing tackling drills without pads with y'all old ass.
Bro, I can't make sense of it, right? Because again, at one point, yes, I do understand how fun it was to hit somebody on your first day of tackling, right? Because we couldn't do it for a certain amount of time during the summer. But then the first day of hitting comes, and yes, Oklahoma drills were fun. We had pads on. We weren't fully grown men. It's different.
Like, share, and subscribe. We'll catch you next Sunday.
Facts.
It's been real, folks.
Absolutely. Appreciate y'all. See
We
y'all
out
next
here.
Sunday.